Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Anna Lampwoman and today I'm going to be doing the Mommy Tech. I will be answering some questions and giving out some mommy advice, so if you are interested in watching that, then don't click away. Question number 1. What was the hardest part about being pregnant? So the hardest thing about being pregnant for me was my hip and pelvic pain. My body released a hormone called relaxin really early in my pregnancy. Your body is supposed to release that hormone at the very end of your pregnancy so that your hips and your whole area down there can relax and all the joints can open up for the baby to go through. But my body released it way too early in the pregnancy, so my whole pelvic and hip area were really unstable and they continuously dislocated at night at the end of my pregnancy. So anytime that I moved, yes, anytime I tried to move from one side to the other, they dislocated and popped, and it was really painful. And yeah, that was definitely the hardest part for me. And because it was so bad at night, I don't think that I slept much at all for the last, I don't know, maybe 3 months of my pregnancy, so that was really tough. Thankfully, my baby has slept really well from the time he was born, so I have slept actually way better since he was born than I did the last 3 months of my pregnancy. Question number 2 is, what is the best part about being pregnant? For me, the best, I mean, obviously everything about being pregnant is just such a miracle and it's so beautiful and awesome, but the best part for me, I think, would have to be like feeling the movements and watching my belly grow and watching my belly move as the baby moved and feeling all the kicks and knowing the baby was alive and moving and healthy and developing. And I don't know, that the movements I think would probably have to be my favorite. They were just so much fun. Question number 3, was there anything about childbirth, labor, or delivery that was a surprise? And I would say maybe not necessarily a surprise, but just something unexpected was the pain in my tailbone, or like, excuse the too much information, but the pain of my butthole. I was not expecting that. I knew the contractions were going to be really painful. I knew my hips were going to hurt. I knew my back was going to hurt. I knew my stomach was going to hurt. But I did not know that I would feel so much pressure and so much pain in the back. And that was completely unexpected and horrible. And I mean, other than that, everything that I had heard about is basically what happened, or I was prepared for. So that was probably the only thing I wasn't. Question number 4, would you change anything about your labor and delivery? And this is kind of a hard question because yes, I would have wished to have had the labor and delivery that I had planned, but no, I wouldn't change it because everything that happened already, and that brought me to my beautiful baby boy. And I don't know if making different decisions would change things, so I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't go back and change anything. But do I wish I could have done it the way I wanted to do it? Yes. That's just something that's, I'm hoping to do for my next labor. But this one, it happened the way it was supposed to happen, and now I have my baby, so I wouldn't change anything. Question number 5, what advice would you have for an expecting mom or a new mom? And I would say the best piece of advice that no one gave me but that I have learned on my own is kind of go with the flow. The more that you stress and the more that you panic about things, the more that your baby will feel that and will react to it. So when you are putting your baby to sleep and your baby's tired and they get past the point of being too tired and they don't want to go to sleep and they get frustrated and you get frustrated and then you try to rock them or put them in their bed and you don't know like why they won't go to sleep. When you start feeling all of that, they start feeling all of that, and it ends up being way harder and taking way longer for you to actually put them to bed than if you just go with the flow. If the baby, you know that your baby's tired and you know that they need to go to bed, but they're not actually falling asleep and they're fighting falling asleep, then don't force it because it ends up being hard for you. What I have learned on my own that I think has been a lifesaver is just letting him be and letting him play a little bit longer. So what I do is I bring him to his bed, and his bed right now is just a mattress on the ground, which also highly recommend, because we can both lay in there, we can roll around, we can roll off the bed and back on the bed, and it makes everything so much easier. So I take him back to his bed, I sit on the bed with him or lay down on the bed with him, and then if he wants to crawl off the bed and go get a toy, then he can do that. If he wants to climb on me and give me a hug, then he can do that. And letting him just release the rest of his energy that he has, even though I know he's tired and I know he needs to go to bed, but letting him do those things rather than trying to put him to sleep has worked amazingly for me. Usually, I would say 99% of the time, he's asleep within like 10 to 20 minutes at the most. So instead of me spending a half an hour or 45 minutes or however long trying to get him to go to sleep and fighting with him to go to sleep, I just let him get tired, and I sit there with him, and I, if he crawls off the bed and I see that he gets even more tired, I pick him up and I put him back on the bed and I hand him a toy, and he might play with that for a couple minutes, and eventually he's like, "You're right, Mom, I'm tired," and just falls asleep on his own, or lays down on, like leans on me, and then I can just hug him, and then he just falls asleep. And it's a lot easier. It takes way less time. Go with the flow. That's my best advice. And it applies to sleeping, but it also applies to everything else. Like, don't stress out. Go with the flow. There is some things that you want to have a schedule for, obviously, but when a baby's too little, they kind of know what to do naturally, and fighting it just makes it harder for you. So that's my advice. Question number 6. What is the hardest thing about being a mom? So I think that there is 2 answers to this question. One that's more of just like a general, superficial sort of an answer, and that would be getting things done. Getting anything done that isn't being with your baby is really hard when you have a baby. So trying to do dishes, laundry, keep the house clean, show up to places on time, like all of those things are really hard when you're a new mom, because you're focusing so much on your baby that like either you don't have time for those things, or you don't want to do those things because you're happy with your baby, and your baby falls asleep in your arms and you don't necessarily want to set him down. When you're a new mom, you just want to hug him, and yeah, you have laundry to do, yeah, your house is a disaster, but you're spending time with your baby. So all of those things don't matter, and they're hard to do, and yeah. And then the other answer to this question, I would say it's a little bit more of like a personal, like emotional answer, and that would be listening, or like having to hear your baby cry. That is number one, the hardest thing about being a mom, for me at least, is listening to his cry. It's heartbreaking for me. I feel like I know that this sounds crazy, but I feel like I'm failing as a mom if he's not perfectly happy at all times. And of course, I'm not talking about like him throwing a fit or, those sort of cries, but like crying, or like feeling lonely, or, waking up scared in the middle of the night, or any of those cries, really hungry, or, any cry that isn't a throwing a fit cry. It's heartbreaking. And actually, even throwing a fit, like that's still hard too. That's just, hearing your baby cry is hard. I hate it. Question number 7 is, what is the most rewarding thing about being a mom? And if you ask any mom, they're going to tell you probably the same thing, and that is everything. Everything is rewarding about being a mom. But if you want to be a little bit more specific about it, your child developing, your child learning new things, and hitting every milestone, and smiling, and creating showing you their personality that they're developing. Like, all of those things are so rewarding, and there's something new every day. So there's something really rewarding every day. Every time that your baby, they find his hand and they can see their hand, it's just like, you're so proud. And when they crawl for the first time, or smile for the first time, or stand up on something for the first time, or sit up for the first time, or anything that they do for the first time, which there is firsts almost every single day. It's so rewarding, and you just feel so proud, and you're like, yes, my baby's smart, and he's growing up, and he's happy, and it's cool, it's awesome. So everything, but I would say more specifically developing and hitting those milestones and becoming their own person. I think that being able to see that firsthand is so rewarding, is so cool. Question number 8, what is your favorite memory with your baby? I would say also there's 2 answers to this. Obviously, the one memory that I will never forget that is my favorite of all time is just meeting him for the first time and seeing that little baby just covered in all sorts of stuff and realizing that, holy crap, there really was a baby in there, and just how amazing that is. That memory will forever be my favorite memory ever, because that moment made me a mom, and that moment I met the love of my life, and you can't go wrong with that. With that memory. I think all moms would probably say the same thing. But another memory that came to mind when I read this question was the other day. He was sitting on my lap facing me on the couch, and he saw my hair and just like yanked it really hard, and like right when he yanked it, I was like, oh baby, owie, don't pull my hair, that hurts, mama. And I don't know if he understood that, but it seemed to me like he did, and in almost an apologetic sort of way, he put both his hands on my cheeks and he pulled my face closer to his and his face closer to mine and gave me the most adorably sweet, slobbery kiss that I have ever gotten in my life. And it was so cute, and whew, I have like a knot in my throat talking about it. It was so sweet that he realized that he hurt me and said sorry in his own way and told me he loved me and made me feel better immediately. And I don't know, it was just so cute. It was so cute. I think that that's probably going to go down as one of my favorite memories, and I'm hoping to never forget it, which is why I wanted to mention it today on this video, because I want to have that recorded so that I never forget how ridiculously sweet that was. Question number 9 is, what is the most exciting milestone that your baby has hit? And like I said before, every milestone is so awesome, but if I had to pick one, I would say probably laughing. There is no better sound in the world than your baby laughing. Even my mom has told me that that's not something that goes away as your kids grow up. Like, hearing your child laugh is so cool. It makes you so happy. It's the sweetest little sound in the world. And when your baby finally can do that, it just feels so cool. That's probably my favorite if I had to pick one. Question number 10 is, what are your baby's favorite things? So my baby has a few favorite things. It's kind of hard to pick, actually, because at this age, babies love everything. So one of his favorite things is obviously breast milk. He is still exclusively breastfed, so obviously he loves that. He also loves the little teething spoon that I mentioned in my last video. He carries that thing around everywhere, just loves it. He also loves this little toy red submarine. I wish I would have been prepared and had it here, but it's this little red submarine that is one of those like little like rubbery bath toys. Carries that thing everywhere. That probably is his favorite thing. I mean, other than breast milk. That's his favorite thing. He takes that everywhere. He looks for it in the morning when he wakes up. He takes it to bed. Sometimes he falls asleep just holding it. Loves that thing. And then another one of his top favorite things ever is water. So he now is starting to drink water. He loves to drink water, but most importantly, he loves being in water and playing in water and splashing in water and going swimming and being in the shower and in the tub. He is definitely a water baby. He's definitely my kid, and he loves water. Question number 11, what is your favorite thing to do together? And that kind of goes back to what I was just answering before, and that is swimming. We love swimming. We go swimming once a week. Actually, we try to go swimming more than once a week, but for sure we go once a week. We go on Friday afternoons, and that's sort of like our little mommy-son date. and we sometimes take my niece and nephew, sometimes we go with my mom, but for sure the two of us go, and he absolutely loves it. He loves water. He's not afraid to go underwater. He's not afraid to get splashed everywhere. In fact, he spends most of the time just splashing as hard as he can, just getting water all over us, and just absolutely loves it. And it's really fun for me too. I love swimming. He's definitely my kid because I'm definitely a water baby. So we love doing that together. Question number 12. Did you imagine yourself having a baby at this age? And that is kind of a sore subject for me because we actually tried to have babies for a long time before we got pregnant. But my intention when I was a kid and like my whole life growing up is I thought that I would have 4 kids, and I thought that I would have them starting at age 23, my second at 25, my third at 27, and my fourth at 29, and I would be done. And of course that was not the case. I was not ready financially or mentally to have a baby at 23 or 25 or 27, but closer to my 30s is when we actually started trying, and I believe we started trying before I turned 29. And we didn't, oh yeah, before I turned 28 maybe. Anyways, but we were not able to have a baby, and we're not able to get pregnant right away, and so that didn't happen for us until now. But so yeah, I imagined myself being a mom at this age, but I imagined myself being a mom of more kids at this age. But it's never too late. I guess maybe there is a time when it is too late, but it hasn't been too late for us yet, and the plan is to have more babies. So next, question number 13. Describe your baby in 3 words. And I would say the 3 words that best describe my baby would be happy, because he is just the happiest little baby ever. Sweet, because he's just so sweet. He is constantly wanting to snuggle and give kisses, and he wants to hug everyone, and he's just the sweetest little boy. And then perfection, because he's perfect. He's perfection. He's the definition of perfection. So happy, sweet, perfection. But yeah, that's it. That's actually all of the questions we had today. I hope that you guys enjoyed getting to know me a little bit more, getting to know my story as a mom and my baby, and hopefully you guys will find this helpful in your life, and some of my personal experience and my advice will be helpful for you guys. If it was, or if you just enjoyed watching us in general, give us a thumbs up, or give me a thumbs up. I don't think Kaz has been in this one yet, but I'll bring him over. But give us a thumbs up, subscribe for more, hit the little bell so that you are notified when we upload next, and we will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay. Say hi. Can you say, look, do you see right there? That's our friends. Kaz didn't want to miss this video, so can you say hi? What's that? Those are the questions. Yep. That's about you. See you guys next time. Bye. Bye.